What we're doing now, we're doing a little look at the run to the playoffs with 4 rounds, a measly 14-round season, but anyway. 14 rounds, 16 games. Let's start off with my pool, the pool of ease, the pool of slime, the pool of no talent this year. North side, record is, let's have a look, 7 wins and 4 losses. Clearly streets ahead of everyone in that pool. They play Toowoomba twice, Gold Coast at home, and they do a Cairns-Townsville road trip. So they're definitely going to finish top of their pool. We just wipe that one out.
Yeah, I definitely believe they're going to make it. 2 wins versus Toowoomba. Gold Coast, they can easily win that game, and they can split.
So they should be 10 and 6, 9 and 7, 10 and 6, something like that. Top of that pool, the pool of slime, scum, ease, whatever it is. I don't even know what it's called. The central pool. Wow. So now here comes the embarrassing thing for the QBL. Bundaberg are 4 and 8 and Brisbane are 4 and 9. And keeping in mind, Brisbane have the split. So for Bundaberg to advance second, they have to finish 1 win ahead. Bundy play Rockhampton, Mackay, and Ipswich, and their last game's the biggie, Toowoomba, all in Bundy. All their games are in Bundaberg. So Rocky Mackay, I wouldn't give them a hope in hell of winning at their home court, me personally. Ipswich are top of their pool, so they don't really, they shouldn't beat Ipswich. But Toowoomba's the game. Toowoomba's the game where if they pick that one up, that'll give them 5 wins. You know?
That assumes that Brisbane will have to lose all their games. I still think...
hold on, we haven't went to Brisbane yet. But I'm saying out of those 4, their possibility to win 2, more likely 1. So it puts them to 5 wins.
Yes.
Maybe 6. If they get 6, they're in the playoffs. If they win 2 of their last all games at home, you know, they're in. Brisbane, they play Ipswich tomorrow. They're not going to beat Ipswich. And then their last home game is Gold Coast. The next round at Maroochydore is the game of the century in the pool of ease, the pool of sleaze. The 2 and 10 Maroochydore hosting Brisbane. Brisbane get that one, that means Bundy have to win too. If they don't get it, you know, they could end up in the playoffs with a 4 and 12 record. You know, very easily they could finish. If Bundy don't lose their last 4, they both finish 4 and 12. Brisbane go on. So 4 and 12 teams going to make the playoffs. Or a 5 and 11 team. Either way.
Maroochydore versus Brisbane, it's not only important. I just think that Maroochydore could possibly even win that game.
I very much think they'll win. I'm tipping Maroochydore right now to win that game. And they like nothing better than knocking off the Brizzos. You ask them. They love it. So for mine, I think Bundy's going to sneak in with a 5 and 11 record to sneak that second spot. And it don't matter because they're going to get knocked out the week before. But they'll be able to say, we made the playoffs with a 5 and 11 record. So I don't know. What do you think?
I still think it's going to be tough. If they beat Maroochydore, Brisbane's in.
Definitely.
I do not think that Bundaberg can beat Ipswich. It has to take a major miracle to upset either Rocky or Mackay, and neither of those teams are willing to
Brisbane beat Maroochydore. I'd agree with you. They're in because that means Bundy's got to win too. And I don't know. And
that 3-point gap
that's huge. That's huge. That's huge. That's huge because if they would have got that by 27, they'd be in the box seat to make the playoffs. But the beautiful thing about it is, for the QBL, a 4 and 12 team will make the playoffs. Wow. Anyway, let's go to the South Pool, where we have Ippy sitting at 9 and 3, clearly going to win. They have Brisbane, Gold Coast at home, then they go to Bundy Gladstone road trip and have a bye in the last round of the have a bye in the last round. So doesn't really matter. They're going to finish top of their pool. So you know, and play the 4 and 12 Brisbane Capitals or the Bundy Bulls. So it's not really going to matter. They're in the Final 4. Mark it down. Boom. They're in. They can drop every game and still make the playoffs.
And still, for Ipswich to have top honours, it'll take a major miracle either way. So
I think they'll finish 12-4.
Yeah.
I think they might drop a game just because who knows. They should finish 13-3, but 12-4, 13-3, top of their pool easily. Now the interesting bit is we come to Southwest, 5-6. They play Gladstone at home, Toowoomba at home, then they do the Rocky Mackay double. They ain't getting a win in the Rocky Mackay double. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's 2 losses. They got to pick up these 2, and that'll put them at 7 wins. Ooh.
7 and 8.
No, it can't be right. 11. That only gives them 15 games.
Yeah.
There must be one.
Yeah,
missing.
I must be missing one. Oh.
They're missing a game in the final round.
Yeah.
It looks like. There it is. Maroochydore. They're
Yeah.
playing Maroochydore in the final round. So they're going to finish, if they can beat Gladstone Toowoomba, they should finish 7-7
Yeah.
around that.
Yeah.
The split between the Gold Coast and Southwest goes for the Gold Coast because they humped them like by
Yeah.
50, didn't
Yeah.
they? So Goldie have the split.
Yeah.
And I noticed that besides Rocky, who have 2, 4, 6 games left, Southwest have 5 games left. So, you know, they control their own destiny. They got to beat Gladstone and Toowoomba at home. And they play up in Maroochydore the final round as well. So, you know, if they can win those 3, that will give them 8-6 record. That'll get up in second spot. Because well, it might. Let's see what Gold Coast have. Gold Coast record is
4-7.
4-7. So that means they've got 4 games left. Is that right?
Yep.
No.
Okay.
5 games left.
Yes. Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Oh, they've got. Wait. Who do they have?
At 4-7, they've got 5 games left.
Oh, they've got Northside too.
All right. So they play Northside at Northside. And they play Gladstone today. They have to win that Gladstone game. They have to beat Maroochydore. And they have to beat, if they beat Brisbane, Maroochydore, Gladstone, that will give them 7-7. You know, and then they play Northside and who else? Ipswich. Northside and Ipswich. Could be anyone's game. Keeping in mind, Gold Coast, if they get level pegging with Southwest, they've got the split on Southwest.
Another team we haven't talked about is Toowoomba, that technically, mathematically has a chance, but
There's a reason we haven't been talking about Toowoomba.
But I still think, well, like, they
play at Northside,
Yeah.
at Southwest, Northside twice, up there, at Gladstone, at Bundy. You know, I don't know who they have the split on. I don't think they have the split on anyone.
No, they don't.
I think
Do they
they're-
have
I think
Gold
they're
Coast?
out. 3-8, it's not going to get it done.
They do. It might come down because they have.
They've lost
the
8
split-
losses, man. They've lost 8 times already. They're done.
Yeah.
They're done.
Because they've got
The
the split
best they
on
can
Gold
finish
Coast.
is 8-8.
I think they've got the split on Gold Coast, and I think they have it on Southwest too.
Did they beat Southwest?
Yes, at.
Oh well, if they did, if they have the split, then 8-8 could get them in.
But it-
could get
but
them in.
it
They
is
got to
a-
win every single
Yeah.
game, all 5 at Northside this weekend. So we'll know immediately with that one.
Yeah.
So you know it's up there. It's going to be between, I think, Southwest,
Yeah.
Goldie. Remember, if Gold Coast and Southwest finish level pegging, Gold Coast have the split.
I think it'll go level pegging, and Gold Coast will get the split.
And then you've got a matchup, Gold Coast Northside. At Northside, I'm sure Gold Coast would relish that if they could get in, or Southwest too, because you know
Yeah.
it's somebody's going to get in the Final Four. There's got to be 2 teams from the South, and you know I think Ipswich have already written their thing in because they get to play the 4-12 team. Let's go up to the north. There's where Mackay's 9-1. They play a big weekend this weekend. They got Cairns at Townsville. And then they play at Gladstone and Bundy. And they host Southwest. And then the last game of the year is at Rockhampton.
Yeah.
So I see Mackay losing 2 more games, give them 3 losses. And they're going to finish with a record of 13-3. They're going to come second in their pool, I think. That's my prediction. I don't see Rocky losing at home to them.
I have to agree with you. Mackay, it is a tough one having all of your teams from your pool in the last 2-3 weeks. It's pretty tough And I don't know, Rocky's going to be.
I noticed this year they didn't give them that extra Rocky Mackay game. They've only played each other twice. Usually in the past they've played 3 times. So I think there was a bit of bitching going on, and they said, why are we playing each other? So they give them some other fodder to play. But Mackay should finish 13-3, which will get them second, I think. Let's look at Cairns. Cairns finished Mackay at home, Rocky at home, who they've beaten away, and Northside at home. 3 games at home. You know,
could win all 3.
They could win all 3 too. Yeah, there's 4 losses. You know, they lost to Brisbane, the uncashed up Capitals at home. That's going to come up and kick them in the ass. I just don't see Mackay or Rocky losing 4 times to get level plaguing. They're going to have to travel the first round of the playoffs, and that's going to be a bear for whoever plays them.
Yeah.
So they're going to finish 3rd. We're saying, is that right? Even if they win out, they're going to finish 12-4.
The one with implications is Rocky Mackay, who gets the first spot.
Yeah. Rocky has got Maroochydore and Bundy this weekend. Then they host Townsville, Cairns, Southwest, and Mackay at home.
They have a slightly...
Well, no, they travel to Townsville.
Yes.
They travel to they go up to Townsville and Cairns. I don't know, it doesn't say that. So this weekend they do 4 road trips. Maroochydore, Bundy, they'll win both those. Then they play Townsville on the either Friday night, and then go to Cairns on the Saturday night. Then they host Southwest at home, and then the last game is Mackay. Now, even if they drop a game to Cairns and Mackay, that'll give them 3 losses. You know, I see Rocky in the box here. Rocky will be 2 losses. Rocky will finish with a record of 14-2, and they'll be the host all the way through the finals.
They've got a better run to the. They're facing Maroochydore, Bundaberg, and Southwest, who are, well, at least Maroochydore and Bundaberg will be easy pickings.
Yep. And Townsville's 7-6 record, but like we said, because of where they are, they would probably be. Well, they beat Ipswich at Ipswich. They'd probably be the best team in the South. They're not going to make the playoffs because of the QBL playoff thing. Nobody wants to play full state. Nobody wants to pay the money to play full state. So that's what you're stuck with. You know, if Townsville was in the South, they'd be 9-3. I guarantee you. You know, you got to play Rocky twice, Cairns twice, Mackay twice. There's 6 losses. You know,
and even Gladstone twice and got the split. They had a split in Gladstone.
Yeah, that's right. So, you know, but so for mine, Rocky, like I've always said, will host the final with a 14-2 record. And I think the first round playoff will be Mackay hosting Cairns. That might be the other way around, but it'll be Cairns and Mackay playing then. And then down here, the pool of pus leader will be Northside, and they'll play, I'm going to say Gold Coast. No, I said Southwest, I'll stick with them. They're going to play Southwest, and that would mean that Ipswich play Bundy, a 4 or 5 win team. So your first round playoffs will be Ipswich versus Brisbane or Bundy, and Northside versus Southwest and Gold Coast. And Rocky will sit there and host the whole way and just wait for everybody to go up to Rockhampton.
I'm gonna slightly disagree a little bit with the. Probably have to go. It'll be Ipswich, Brisbane. I just think if they beat Maroochydore, Ipswich won't lose against Bundaberg, even though they're at home.
If Brisbane beat Maroochydore next week, the playoffs is over and done with, I'd say. Unless Bundy can win 3 games.
I think Gold Coast will win the second spot because that 40-point drubbing is
helps.
Yeah, that helps a lot. And Northside Gold Coast will be, and I think it'll come Cairns Mackay. I think Mackay will lose at least 2 games.
Still taking the 3 losses. I still think it's going to be Cairns playing in Mackay. Rocky sitting and waiting for everyone in the mids.
Yeah, I definitely believe that.
So my final 4s will be Rocky, obviously, and I'll say Cairns to knock off Mackay and Mackay. Sorry, Vandy, but Mackay are on a roll. Mackay might win the whole thing now. I didn't expect them to gel so well together. But, I mean, Cairns.
Yeah.
And then Ipswich definitely will be the other participant in that group. And then just take a coin and flip it, whether it'll be Northside or
Southwest.
yeah, or Gold Coast.
I have to go Rocky, Cairns, Ipswich, and I'll have to go Gold Coast. I think.
I agree with you.
Yeah, I just. I don't know. Northside hasn't convinced. I've seen a lot of games of Northside. They haven't convinced me they can.
Yeah, they like that point guard is the problem. So.
That's the problem. That's the problem.
But there you go, men's. Next week, women's.